Welcome, fellow Phoenixes, to the Spiritual Phoenix Podcast, where we make a daily offering to the divine by putting our past on the pyre, searching the smoke for spirituality, turning the ashes into art, adapting isolation into connection, and manifesting mental wellness. I am a spiritual phoenix named Ross Cessna, and I wish to ignite the authentic expression of your soul into any avenue that elevates consciousness. I don't want to tell you what to think, but to get you to think, create your own understanding, and authentically express yourself in a way that is uplifting. We are the artists of our lives, and today is a blank canvas. Let's collectively create a better tomorrow. Today, I honor a light that left the physical world. He illuminated one of my mentors and therefore had an influence on me. It is beautiful that how he impacted her impacted me. Without meeting him, hearing him speak, reading a word he wrote, only seeing a photo of him, he touched me. He taught me a lesson after he left this world. He gave me something to ponder. That thing to ponder is who influenced my mentors. Who influenced my mentors' mentors, and it fractals back to the first spark of life on this planet. We are education in process, and the legacy of life lives on long after our soul is freed from the physical realm. I won't say he is my guide. He has others who knew him personally to shine on. What is beautiful is his existence created such a ripple that it affected someone who he never met, never spoke a word to, never even knew he existed until the day he passed. I don't need to mention his name to acknowledge him. His spirit can know my words without it. And now, a moment of silence in his honor. Also, if you could just maybe send some love and light out into the ether for his family and those who knew him personally, and just acknowledge that. And as far as what I'm grateful for, I want to say that I'm grateful that this person was in my mentor's life. She attributes part of where she's at today to him, and I attribute part of where I'm at today to her. So it's a powerful thing. I'd like to get into some quotes. Today's episode is about legacy. And the quotes are, "The mass of men worry themselves into nameless graves, while here and there a great unselfish soul forgets himself into immortality." And that was said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. "Everyone has a transferable commodity, knowledge. Sharing your unique expertise in making introductions for someone creates a lasting legacy." And that was said by Marsha Blackburn. "The mediocre teacher tells. The good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires." And that was said by William Arthur Ward. "The great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it." And that was said by William James. "Since the dawn of time, the truers of stone and the hewers of wood have constituted a divinely overshadowed caste." And that was said by Manly P. Hall. The last quote may seem at odds, as in context it is sourced from an article or from part of a book about a chapter of a book that talks about the seven wonders of the world. However, when one looks at the role of a teacher or mentor through the eyes of John Taylor Gatto, which would be a teacher's goal is like a sculptor to free the natural essence that is within the stone, I find it apt. See, legacy, the concept of the great builders, and a freeing a person from stones they create around themselves to survive, ties in perfectly. A legacy outlasts even the name of the builder. Many of the most amazing structures ever built are from antiquity, with no names known of the builders, with no real information about who they were, how they were built, or anything, just mystery. And that's where legacy comes in. I mean, there's so many people that influence so many people that are written into history, but a lot of those people don't get acknowledged or recognized, and really the ripples of those people helped create some of these people that are historically remembered, some of the great philosophers, some of the great speakers, I mean, great writers, great artists. They all had some kind of person that rippled them. I mean, some influences too are not always positive, and you can still grow from that if you see fit. I've been fortunate that I've had so many positive influences, and I'm fortunate that I was able to be influenced by somebody I never met. And that's the power. His legacy of who he is, it lives on. And I may not always remember that moment. I'm as I write things and as I do things, I like to etch that into my memory. I don't have the best memory, but that really impacted me deeply, and it gave me such a profound level of thought to think about things and to put things into perspective, I guess, and to realize that we are education in process. We are information in process. Our lives are information. And I don't know, that's just such a profound way to live and such a profound thought. And one of the things I have written here is that a legacy leaves an impact. A name can be soiled. Anonymous acts cannot. And action speaks for itself. If somebody does a kind act of compassion namelessly or anonymously, that's so much more powerful than doing something and then trying to get credit for it. And if somebody does a negative act, that speaks loudly too, and not in a positive way, obviously. And as I speak of anonymity, I want to illustrate something. I was okay doing this anonymously. I was okay doing this without putting my face out there. The reason that I do that is because I feel that my message becomes diluted if I don't have the courage to put my name behind my story and a face behind that story, because I want to inspire people who have been into the psych ward, who have felt disenfranchised, who have struggled with life, who have felt powerless, who have been defeated. I want to show people that have been in similar situations that can relate, or that my story resonates with, to tell them they can overcome those situations. They can become somebody else, and they can use those situations as a catalyst. And to me, my message becomes diluted if I don't have the courage to put my name behind it. I'm not one for recognition, and I was thinking about this when I started. Do I ever want to be famous or anything like that? Honestly, no, I don't. There's such a burden that goes with that I see that people have to deal with. Some people are like, you're never going to be famous, so don't worry. That's okay with me. See, my intention in doing this, it's not to get to a point where everybody knows me or things like that. I want to impact people. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want people to live better. I want people to love more. I want them to love themselves more. I want them to live to their fullest potential. I want them to chase their dreams. I'm okay if nobody knows my name, really. It doesn't matter to me, and it doesn't have to make sense to you is why I put my name when I'm saying I'm okay being anonymous. I'm fine with that too. My purpose on this planet, as I perceive it, is to help people accept themselves, accept their experiences, not be ashamed of it, accept their emotions, follow their creativity, follow their dreams, not live for somebody else, not just be content with being one of the masses, or knowing that they are themselves but trying to conform to feel accepted. You're accepted as you are. There's a group of people out there that will accept you. And for me, one of the biggest barriers to that is thinking that people were going to make fun of me or think less of me. People will make fun of me. People will think less of me. And you know what? That doesn't say anything about me. People will think higher things of me too. The reality at the end of the day is I'm just a person. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I never will be. What I want to live on is my acts. And with what I'm doing now, I want to have the same ripple effect where I could ripple out and touch somebody and have them feel inspired enough to make a change in themselves, and then that impacts somebody else in a positive way and they make a change. And some people will think that you don't have that kind of power. Maybe I specifically don't have that kind of power. That's okay too. It doesn't mean I'm not going to try, because if I continue to sit on my ass like I was doing, if I continued to do the little things, I could make those same changes. I can change the world in little actions. This gives me a platform to potentially help more people. And if I can't even say if I fail, I've already succeeded, because people have told me that I've helped them in some way. And that doesn't make me some extremely special guru or anything. I'm special like everybody else. The thing that's different about me is I remember I'm special, I guess, and I don't say different from everybody, different than some people, is I'm special. I remember that I'm special. I remember that I'm special, but I don't feel more special than anybody else. I'm on equal footing with everybody. I'm not better or worse than anybody. And I want my legacy to be not my name. I've soiled my own name through some of my actions. I'm trying to redeem it, and I'll never be able to redeem it because different people will judge it differently. My acts, they'll live on after I pass. Just like the person I mentioned. I never knew him, but who he was and how he touched somebody else touched me and gave me such a profound level of thought. I can't say that I'm going to have that amount of power on somebody. And that's okay too. It's all okay. I have to try. And the reality of it is too, I already have had that ripple effect, honestly. There's so many people that I've interacted with in my life that I never knew their name, and they gave me profound wisdom. I mentioned before the 3-second exchange with a person in California who I was depressed walking through the redwoods, and he said, "Smile, dude, you're in California." That was a whole paradigm shift for me. I mean, I looked around and said, holy crap, I am where I've always wanted to be. And that's what I want to do with my work in some ways, is have people wake up and realize they can be happy in this moment. They have things to be grateful for in this moment. They are exactly where they're supposed to be at this moment. And the happiness isn't something on the horizon. Chasing your dreams isn't on the horizon. Those are things that you start in this instant, because this instant that you have right now is literally the only thing that's guaranteed. The past is past. That's burning on the pyre already. The future, it's not promised. So in this moment, what can you do to show love to yourself, to show love to another person, to respect whatever your higher power may be, to create your dreams, chase your dreams, even if it's just writing down a little thought or concept of something that you want to do and writing, I will do this. Or even if you just write, I am love, I am loved. I don't even know you, and I love you and I respect you. And I realize to some people that sounds corny. You haven't had my experiences to where that actually is a reality and makes sense. We are all connected as one. We are all human beings. We have so many more commonalities than differences. And our culture wants to show you all the differences. It doesn't want to focus on all the similarities. I'm kind of getting off topic, and I'd like to share a poem. And I wrote this poem in honor of the person who had the moment of silence, because it just had me thinking about legacy and life and so many things. So thank you to that. Thank you for the inspiration and insight. And I don't say your name just because I didn't know you. And your message doesn't need a name, I guess. And it's respect for your family and those things as well. To all the lights that have, are, and yet to come, your birth is from combustion, the polarity of positive or negative, or bioluminescence, sometimes one, sometimes three. You exist in the realm of all forms and all things. When one considers that we are created from an explosion, that we and all life are made of star stuff, it illuminates this reality. Some will say better to burn out than to fade away. However, that is the physical light. The spiritual light that exists in our essence does not fade when we ignite it to the fullest. It transcends time, as that is a human construct, like paper lanterns that float into the universal ocean of limitless depth and size. Light lives on, not in memory, ingrained in the essence of all that is. When people fade from the physical, when their lives are no longer remembered, we exist in the memory of the mysteries, one that spans all time. We exist in the infinite moment. And I really could go on, and I'm not going to put this episode on the pyre today. Today I'm going to put it in a paper lantern and let it float up into the stars and into infinity. And if you want to be a guest on the show, please click the link. There's one for a guest application. If you want to reach out to me personally or professionally, there's a link for that in the description as well. Links to my tarot card readings, website, and all social media will be listed below. Please take the time to respond to the PodTrack listener survey, as it'll help me better understand my audience. Also, if you could drop a review on iTunes, it'll help me reach new listeners. I love, respect, and appreciate all of you. Make today a magical day with the attitude of gratitude and a mentality of manifestation. Love and light. Namaste.